Hello, I am Dr. Nanette Silverberg. I am Chief of Pediatric Dermatology and a clinical professor of dermatology and pediatrics at the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai. One of the things I think that comes up with in kids is comorbidities, and that'll come up in my talk. I've had the opportunity through our registry to look at pediatric thyroid disease. We also worked with Dr. Shiramel and Dr. Kuo, who are trainees, worked with me and our endocrinologist, Dr. Yao, on a systematic review and meta-analysis, which has been accepted to pediatric dermatology, looking at worldwide incidence of so reporting of thyroid disease in children with vitiligo. And the data is actually rather interesting because it really depends on the site. And so we have something that I like to refer to as the iceberg model. What we see when people talk about symptoms is only a fraction of disease because kids accommodate to thyroid disease in the first months and years. And then, we don't necessarily want to wait until the children are not growing or are falling off the curve or losing performance in school. So we can't screen them based on the data. It looks like depends on the study you look at. But in the studies where there is screening for both thyroid, TSH, and antibodies like TPO and thyroglobulin, we get a more robust sense of the disease. So we have more closer to like 20% thyroid disease across the spectrum. In our group, it depends how you slice it up. It's approximately 17% had thyroid issues when we did the more sensitive testing. Now, kids who are euthyroid but have thyroid antibodies are at higher risk in the next 2 years, as is anybody who has thyroid antibodies. Of developing active thyroid disease. So we do know that this is a way of picking kids up early and keeping an eye on them to watch and find out when they need treatment or if they'll need treatment. There is some sense in the literature also that this may be an indicator of more genetic risk and greater risk of relapse in disease. So that's emerging, but we don't have like a full picture of that, I think, at this point. But it's certainly clear that thyroid disease is very important to check. Anemias come up as well in studies, and I think that's something that some of my colleagues in the pediatric, adolescent, and young adult vitiligo consensus work group have really focused on anemia because it certainly is a reason why people become very fatigued and can reduce performance as well for children. And of course, psychological impact has really become an important focus for us. And we don't necessarily have the psychological data from our registry, but we know that surveys that we've done before of patients, of kids with vitiligo, um, show that at least 50% are affected by their disease if you look at kids under the age of like 10. But as you hit the 15 to 17 mark, it's like 98%. So it's almost universally affecting children. And it becomes important for us to talk about, maybe, particularly individuals who are impacted, whether it's the parents or the children, that seeing a therapist or working with a psychiatrist, depending on who you can access. All of these may be very important to help our patients achieve their best functioning level, functional capabilities and executive function, which I think is sometimes impaired for people who are really psychologically affected. So something important for us to look at. Looking forward, I think that we have a lot of interesting products that are in development for pediatric vitiligo. I'm currently participating with Insight on the pediatric vitiligo trials for 2 to 11 years of age. So I think that one hopes that the trials will be will produce a positive result, and will so that seems like it will be potentially available in within the next few years. We also have, again, we're going to have some of the JAK inhibitors under development. We've recently seen some discussion of um, newer antioxidants to pair with phototherapy, although the data, we don't know how the safety in children per se. And of course, our tried and true method has been narrowband UVB. And that could be both as a laser format, the excimer laser, 308 nanometer laser, can be as a intense pulse light, or it can be as home phototherapy. And I recently, saw some information regarding some expansions of the availability of home phototherapy, and the ability to prescribe it using our standard prescribing tools on EMR. So I think that may help patients access many different therapeutics in the next few years. There is development now of newer agents, BAT inhibitors and interleukin 15 monoclonal antibodies blocking interleukin 15. So these targets are down the pike. There are other targets that are certainly in that CXCL9, 10, 11 axis with CXCR3. Those that pathway may also have some agents targeting in the future. So we really will see a lot of new therapeutics. I think this is really for us. It's such an exciting time in vitiligo. And for pediatric vitiligo, that we have these opportunities to impact patients. And we're coming to a point where um, we're looking at guidelines with a list of medications, of varying medications and opportunities to treat. And so we want patients and parents to know treatments available no matter what your age, no matter how many years you've had disease. It is something you can explore. And the opportunities are increasing over time. And we're looking forward to seeing more guidelines, hopefully, to help people incorporate these practices and these newer agents in their practice. In pediatric dermatology now, I think the thing that excites me the most is just the constant development. I think that we're seeing a lot of targeted products being developed for childhood diseases, for rare diseases. We're having the opportunity to manage children with new agents. Of course, like 10 years ago when we started to see the emerging data on biologics for atopic dermatitis. That was just the start, and so we now have so many new agents for atopic dermatitis that will be developed for kids, and for that includes a variety of the new topicals that are non-steroidal. We have so many new agents in psoriasis that are now having safety data and approval in children. Things that are oral versus injectable versus topical. So we have so many opportunities to really address patients based on their need. And I think it's going to be an exciting time in terms of the development of an understanding of how to incorporate all this wealth of of topicals and orals and systemics that we biologics and injectables that we have best into our practices to best meet the needs of our patients and to give them long-term best quality of life. And of course, hopefully to also prevent comorbidities. I think that the prevention of comorbidities is something that one can only really see over an extended time period. But as this data emerges, it's clear that our newer interventions are giving us the ability to help people have a more a better quality of life and a healthier overall general health, which is very exciting.